We're going to switch gears a little. Today is World AIDS Day, and San Diegans are coming together to commemorate the occasion. And joining us now is Alberto Cortés. He is the CEO of Mama's Kitchen. Good morning to you, Alberto. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Stella. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for being here. Tell us what's happening later today.
Today we are taking the opportunity of commemorating World AIDS Day with our 30th annual tree lighting ceremony, where we acknowledge the advances that have happened in HIV, memorialize folks who have died of AIDS, and speak to the reality of HIV in our community still and the challenges still faced in our communities.
Alberto, what does this major milestone mean to you? 30 years.
You know, I've worked in the field of HIV for north of 34 years, all of it in San Diego County, and can tell you that I've witnessed the evolution of the disease, the advances in medications and treatment that have certainly changed how people live with HIV. And remember the days when there was little hope, when a person diagnosed with AIDS had a prognosis of less than 2 years of life, to a time where today, with proper treatment, a person can live into old age and potentially die of another disease or a condition, and that it not be HIV.
We have come a long way. You have been with Mama's Kitchen for almost 20 years and helped so many. Is there someone special in your thoughts today?
You know, there are a number of people, but I will share that there was a young girl that I met when I worked at San Isidro Health Center many years ago, who had been diagnosed with HIV, and her parents were concerned about her well-being. She was about 3 years old at the time, and the prognosis, obviously, at the time, we're talking about the early 90s, was thin, was not good. And yet many years later, I ran into her mother and told me how her daughter was then in middle school and doing really well. Speaks to a perfect example of how we are living in a place where there's more available for those that can have access to it.
You know, today's special event includes holiday tunes from members of the San Diego Gay Men's Chorus. What else can people expect out there today?
We'll be making ornaments available where people can. Here's an example of when I did one. I put one together for a dear friend of mine, Vincent, who passed away many years ago from AIDS. That people can buy ornaments and put them up on our tree that will be the tree lighting that we have tonight, and to remember our loved ones that have passed of AIDS. We'll have a candlelight vigil, and we'll bring in the holiday with beautiful music from the San Diego Gay Men's Chorus.
Alberto, if people cannot make it, what other ways can San Diegans still show their support?
There are many ways. You know, Mama's Kitchen is around 365 days a year. People are welcome to come and be a part of our organization as a volunteer, as a supporter. We started as an AIDS service organization. We have expanded our services to also include providing nutrition services to people with congestive heart failure, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, and we'll take our lessons learned from serving people with HIV and make it more available to more people in our community to make a better community. And there are many other organizations that are also addressing the needs of our community, which are many. And COVID-19 has certainly brought to relief the fact that we have many disparities and many health challenges in our community. We still have many people living with HIV. We have people living with other health issues, and our community has multiple opportunities to step up and make life better for those that are more vulnerable.
You are definitely making a difference in our community. 30th annual Tree of Life ceremony starts at 6 p.m. at Village Hillcrest, free. Do we need to register and show proof of COVID vaccination? Is that what we need to do as well if people heading out there?
Yes, please, and bring a mask, please. It's an outdoor event, by the way.
Okay, Alberto, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the time. Have a lovely day.
Of course. Yes, you too.
Thank you.